Hello, welcome to Shipwrecks. I'm Ghost in the Hella, and today, as you can see, we're going to be streaming more ValiDate. I know I'm starting, technically just a tiny bit early. I guess it's 3 o'clock now, but yeah, the kittens were battling over this box in the background. I figured, why not have everybody enjoy it? It might be a little hard to see her right now. She is, wedged deep in that box for a while. She was on top of it. Gideon was on top of it, and Little Bear was inside of it, and she was just kind of crushing it down on him, like you do. Anyway, today we are starting Emhari's dating journey. So we'll see. We met Emhari a little bit in the previous storyline with Inaya. And he seemed like a good time. Seems like a cool person. HR specialist, so that's a little less cool. Bitches love drama in the workplace until it involves them. Okay. Lesbians born after 1994 can't cook. All they do is eat ramen, buy 7 wedding rings, eat hot chip, and cry. Alright then. I was born well before 1994, so I cannot attest to the truth of that. I do eat a lot of ramen, though. Alright. Meeting Emhari. Content warnings, divorce. Okay. Okay, so now Little Bear is on top of the box, trying to crush Gideon, who is inside of it. I hope it is coming across clearly in the video, because I know our kitten cam is not of the highest quality. Oh my god. You alright in there, Gideon? You seem fine. You seem fine. Yeah, kick your brother in the face. Oh my god. Little Bear. Don't be a alright. Within the soft darkness of sleep, you're wandering through an endless hall. You're dreaming, and soon you'll wake up and be thrust into your real life with your real problems. For now, though, you wander. The hallway is empty. There are no doors, no windows, no decorations of any kind. There are only barren walls gliding by as you bring one foot in front of the other. You don't know why you're in this hall or what you're looking for, only that you are compelled to move forward. As you walk, you begin to feel a strange prickle on the back of your neck, as if you're being watched. You begin to walk faster. The walls and floor of the hallway begin to elongate, narrowing to a point far off in the distance. That familiar feeling of being watched looms over you, and you try to run from it. You try and try, but as you look down, you see your feet begin to sink through the plain wood of the floor beneath them. The thing seeking you is getting closer, you know this, but you cannot for the life of you continue to move. A gust of hot breath washes over the back of your neck. Oh my god. Your first alarm sounds shrieking bright into the warm cavern of your early morning consciousness. Do you have to wake up today? Before you open your eyes, you run a mental tally of everything that you need to do to become a human being. Apologies for all the sounds in the background. I'm assuming the mic is at least picking up some of it. Yeah, they've switched positions again. Now he is in the box, and she is on top of the box trying to murder him. Oh my god. You kids are so cute. Yum, 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 yum. Oh my god. Delicious beasts. Delicious beasts. Alright. Meds come first, then coffee. You crack your eyes open and reach out in the dark towards your bedside table. You thrust your hand over the surface, knocking over empty yerba mate cans and other assorted bits of trash until you stumble into your medication. Oh, he's so cute. Oh. Step 2 of the equation is water. By now, your eyes have adjusted to the low light of your bedroom, and you can make out the shape of your water bottle on the floor next to your bed. A moment later, you're sitting up, swallowing 20 milligrams of, oh god, Crivens XR, with a mouthful of tepid, stale water. Your throat dries as soon as you finish swallowing, so you down the rest of the water despite its rank taste. You command the lower half of your body to move, your brain sending desperate directives to your legs and feet. Will today be the day they choose to cooperate on the first try? Evidently not. You spend another few minutes urging your body to obey your mind until a surge of panic jolts you to stand at the sound of your second alarm. Now that you're up, you turn the light on. Your room is chaotic, yes, but you know exactly where everything is. Your fingers start to twitch as your medication kicks in. You need to get moving. The first thing you do is throw together an outfit. Once your clothes are laid out on your bed, you slip your house shoes on before heading downstairs towards the kitchen. Hi, baby bear. Hello there. He's probably too close for the camera to pick him up, but oh, what a special boy. You already set up the coffee machine last night, so all you have to do now is press a button and you're free to start cleaning out one of the many mugs sitting in your sink. You take your coffee with a splash of cream and enough sugar to make a dentist faint. I mean, even just black coffee is upsetting to dentists in my experience. With your cup prepared, you go back upstairs so you can take a shower. You turn the water on to a nearly scalding temperature and quickly drink the rest of your coffee before slipping off your robe and pajamas. After your shower, you wash your face and quickly style your hair. You get dressed in your room, trying to stay mindful of the time. Your third alarm goes off as you pull your socks on. The socks don't match, but at least there are two of them. Now that you're at least somewhat put together, you must complete the heroic task of getting your children ready. Oh, that is a heroic task. Aww. Jaleel and Jabari are still sound asleep in their bedroom. You open the door slowly so you don't startle them and flip on the lamp that sits between their beds. Jabari stirs a little, but both boys remain asleep. You sigh. You might as well let them sleep for a few more minutes while you pick out clothes for them to wear. At 4 years old, your sons are starting to become quite independent. You suspect that Jabari will object to any clothes that don't resemble the weight and texture of his pajamas, and that Jaleel will insist on wearing the same color everything because his new favorite thing is colors. You keep this in mind as you paw through their dressers. Hey, princess. Right, she's still in the box, but I'm gonna change up kitten cam a little. Oops. Which unfortunately will mess with the music a bit, but Lobby, son, look at the camera, handsome. Close enough. It'll do. Alright. You keep this in mind as you paw through their dressers. The noise you've been making causes Jaleel to wake up. Oh, precious! Precious! Oh my god. Mama? Jaleel Abdi, kindergarten student, Emhari and Noor's son. Good morning, my dove. Did you have a good dream? Yeah, Mama, I did. Are we going to school today? Not today. You and your brother are going to Mama Noor's house today. You do your best to not to sound disappointed when you say it. The hardest part of sharing custody is having to pretend that you're okay with the sharing part. Why don't you wake your brother up? And then you can both tell me about your dreams while we get washed up. Oh, I hope you don't share your dreams, because that was fucked up. Jaleel climbs out of bed and totters over to Jabari. He lays a small hand on his brother's shoulder and gently shakes him until his eyes crack open. Oh, so precious. Oh my god, stars in his eyes. Oh. Jabari, wake up. We're going to Umi's house today. Or Umi, maybe? Jabari Abdi, kindergarten student, Emhari and Nora's son. Oh my god, precious. Jabari blinks in silence for a moment. Jabari, did you know that, in my dream, you and me were in Mama's car, and we all went to, we went to the moon. And, then on the moon, we saw a big bird, and, the bird had a car too, so we had a race in Mama's car with the bird. You watch your sons chat as you finish getting their clothes for the day together. Who won the race, Jaleel? I don't know, Mama. I woke up before it was over. Mama, I didn't have a good dream. Oh. You walk over to your son and crouch next to his bed. He's sitting up clutching a stuffed kudu that your aunt gave him when he was born. Jaleel has his own, a cheetah, that's sitting next to his pillow. I'm so sorry you had a bad dream, my lamb. Would you like to talk about it? In my dream, you were there, Mama, and, you allow him to take his time, careful not to stop his train of thought. In it, you were in a big box, and you were stuck. Oh, this baby crying. Oh, heartbreaking. And I was outside the box, and I couldn't open it for you. I'm sorry I couldn't help you, Mama. I'm so sorry. His big brown eyes begin to well up with tears. You reach for him and hold him close against your chest. Don't worry, Habibi. Dreams aren't exactly the same as real life. They just tell us things about real life using pictures, and sometimes they don't make sense to us right away, and that's okay. What kinds of things do dreams tell me? Well, that depends on the dream. But as you get bigger and bigger, and have more and more dreams, you'll have an easier time figuring out what they have to say. Jabari wipes his tears on your shoulder and sighs. Can we have pineapple for breakfast? I want to have oatmeal. Sometimes it shocks you how quickly your kids can change tracks, but then again, they are your sons. You stand and help Jabari get out of bed. Okay, my dears, what do we do before we eat breakfast? We wash away all the sleep. We wash away all the sleep. Oh my god, the little stars in their eyes, they are precious. Oh, that's good to see somebody being a better parent than Malik. Oh my god. You pick up their clothes and lead your sons to the bathroom so that you can help them get ready before they get dressed. Then you load their toothbrushes with toothpaste and hand them to them. They stand on step stools in front of the sink, brushing their baby teeth with gusto. A pang of sadness rings through your heart as you watch them. It took time, but you've gotten used to taking care of the boys on your own. Things are certainly more difficult without a partner, but that's a thought that you can't allow yourself to dwell on, at least not in front of them. When Jaleel and Jabari are finished brushing their teeth, you help them take off their pajamas so they can put on their clothes for the day. What do we think? Did I do a good job picking your clothes today? Jaleel looks at the blue Among Us shirt he's wearing and down at his blue socks. Jabari rubs his fingers over his sweatpants and soft yellow Minecraft shirt. You hold your breath. I like the colors. Oh, precious. I think that blue is a really cool color because it's the same as the sky, and the sky has birds in it, and I really like those. Precious. It's soft. He gives a soft smile, and that's all you need to know that you've knocked this one out of the park. Good parenting, Mama. You guide your children down to the kitchen so you can start preparing their breakfast. You heat some oatmeal on the stove while you slice some pineapple and pour glasses of almond milk. Your own breakfast will probably consist of leftover rice and a couple of eggs once you get back home after dropping the boys off. You imagine yourself later, sitting alone at the table picking at food sapped of its flavor, while you wish that things were different. If only you could go back. You know there's no use in this particular mental exercise, but you can't stop yourself. If you could do things all over again, what would you change? Would you figure out a home and work balance that's sustainable before it was too late? Would you listen more? Would it have mattered? There are just some things that you can't control, including, it seems, the kind of person you are at a fundamental level. You weren't enough, simple as that, and the amount you've grown and changed since don't count for shit, because no matter what happens, you and Nor are never going to be together again. Your thoughts are interrupted by a sharp pain in your hand. While you were distracted, it seems, you managed to slice through your thumb instead of the fruit in front of you. Ooh, could've used a trigger warning for that one. At least, hopefully we don't get a close-up of the blood. Shit! You fail to catch yourself before swearing in front of your children. Mama! I'm fine, my dove. I just got a little cut and I'm going to get a bandage for it right now. You do your best to demonstrate proper first aid to your sons. You rinse your bleeding thumb under the faucet and pat it dry with a paper towel before you rummage in the junk drawer for bandages. Once your cut is taken care of, you prepare 2 bowls of oatmeal with knobs of butter, some crushed pistachios, and a small drizzle of honey, placing some sliced pineapple on the side. Nice. You serve your sons their breakfast and join them at the table after you get another mug of coffee. Mama, are you okay? Of course I am, I told you. It was just a little cut, and now it's clean and wrapped up. There's nothing to worry about. Now keep eating your breakfast. Jaleel shoves a heaping spoonful of oatmeal into his mouth. Hey, mister. Breakfast isn't a race. You don't need to go so fast. Take your time or your tummy will be upset with you in the car to Mama Noor's house. You sip your coffee while your sons eat, reminding Jaleel to pace himself every now and again. The last thing you want to do is hand off your kid to your ex while he's covered in puke. Mama? What is it, Habibi? You have to admit, sometimes Jabari can be a little unsettling when he stares at you in unblinking silence. Mama, are you okay? I just told your brother, one little cut isn't enough to hurt me too badly. Not the cut, Mama. You're sad. Yeah, Mama. You came in our room and everything got all blue and green and stuff. But not blue like the sky or like water. Blue like really, really icky blue. You sigh. This is the kind of thing you would, ideally, discuss with Noor. The best option you have, though, is making a long-distance call to your Auntie Babalwa, so she can tell you how best to support your son's gifts while also encouraging them to stay out of your business. I guess I'm a little sad today, but that's just because I have to say goodbye to my favorite 2 people in the whole wide world. I'll be all right, I promise. You reach across the table and your sons grab onto your hands. It's okay to be sad sometimes, understand? Your sons nod, although their little faces are still pinched with worry. You stand and walk around to their side of the table. Come on, give Mama a big hug. It makes me happy that you both care so much about how I feel, but I want you to make sure that you pay attention to how you feel, okay? You scoop them up into a tight embrace. It takes all you have not to start crying into the tops of their little heads, but you manage to keep it together. I love you, Mama. I love you too, Mama. And I love you both so much. I love you more than there are stars in the sky. I love you forever, for always, for as long as I'm alive. You two will always be my biggest loves. It's true. Despite all the pain and turmoil that comes from remaining in close contact with Noor, you would never in a million years give up on the children you share. In a way, you know it's why you and she couldn't stay together. Jaleel and Jabari simply deserve more from both of you. It's time to go, boys. Jabari, it's your turn to pick the CD today, so think about which one you want while I get the car ready, okay? You let go of your sons so they can finish their breakfast. While they eat, you go back upstairs to make sure that they packed their things sufficiently last night. You and Nor tend to keep duplicates of certain items, but there are some things that you simply must cart back and forth, such as their special blankets and toys, as well as anything their preschool teachers have given them to take home. After confirming that their essentials are packed away, you slide Jalil's cheetah and Jabari's kudu on top of their things, and zip up the bags. Looks like I'm having a little trouble with restream. Okay. Well, hopefully everything's okay. You carry them downstairs and out to the trunk of your car. Then you check that the car seats are relatively clean and secured to the back seat. As you do so, your fourth alarm goes off on your phone. Fuck. You lingered too long at breakfast and now you're running behind. Your only choices are speeding or arriving at Nor's place late, neither of which are great. Your ex-wife being a little annoyed at you is much better than getting pulled over with your kids in the car, you decide. True. You go back inside to the kitchen where your sons are waiting, finished with their food. You clear away their dishes and lead them over to the front door where their shoes are waiting. Thankfully, they both wear shoes with Velcro rather than laces, so getting them out the door is a quick process. I think that car is way too big for you, Emhari. Do you know what CD you want, Jabari? The boys are fastened securely in their car seats. I want the one with the orange circles on it. I want the CD with the black and white boxes and the weird man on it. Jalil, it's Jabari's turn today. You can choose the CD when I pick you up next time, okay? Jalil nods, pouting. You sigh. You really don't have time for this. It's good to take turns and share, Habibi. It would make you sad if you never got to pick the CD, right? That's how Jabari would feel if I skipped his turn today. Jalil nods again, his imminent tantrum averted. I'm sorry, Jabari. I don't want you to be sad. It's okay. Your sons reach across the seat to hold hands as you fasten your seatbelt up front. You turn the car on and insert the CD Jabari chose. Layered vocals flood the car through the speakers, and part of you wishes it was Jalil's turn to pick the music, if only because tender love ballads are the opposite of what you need to hear right now. You blink back tears as you put the car in reverse and pull out of your driveway. This is always the hardest part. Jalil and Jabari sing along as best they can, and you're glad that they're distracted. The drive to Noor's is only around 10 minutes, but they seem to stretch on infinitely ahead of you. It would be simple to turn your car around, to go back home and unload your children and just face the consequences when you're in hell. Would it be worth it to hurt Noor in that way? And for what reason? The only people it would hurt are your sons, since, legally speaking, you'd be kidnapping them, and that couldn't possibly be good for their development. Maybe it's for the best that you aren't listening to ska right now. God, of course, with the black and white checkers. Yep, okay, that makes sense. That scans. You cut off that train of thought as you pull up in front of Noor's house. Oh, she does look angry. She's standing on the porch, hands on her hips, a look of disappointment etched onto her face. When is the last time she's looked anyway else when you were around? And still, despite that, you can't help but notice that she's still the most beautiful woman you've ever met. You're late, Emhari. Ooh, she's a scientist. Cool. You help Jalil and Jabari out of the car. I'm sorry. You know how getting them out of the door can be. It won't happen again. Hi, Omi. Good morning, Omi. Good morning, Habibi. Why don't you come inside and take your shoes off? I'll be right in after I speak to your mama. She gets much angrier when she looks at us. She opens the front door for the boys and closes it behind them. Oh boy. You were late 2 weeks ago, too. Don't tell me you're trying to kidnap our children, Emhari. You sputter at the accusation. Are you being serious right now? I was less than 5 minutes late, and you jump to kidnapping? That's pretty bold, Nor. I mean, never mind that she was thinking about it, but, you know. When is the last time you've spoken to each other without fighting? Just after the boys were born? Before that? Nora takes a deep breath and crosses her arms. Look, I don't want to argue with you today. I have something to tell you. Uh-oh. What? You aren't moving, are you? No, I'm not moving. Listen, this is important. She takes another breath. Habibi, Your hair stands on end at the term of endearment. You want to scream, don't call me that. You don't get to call me that anymore. But you stay silent. I've been seeing someone. Their name is Ali, and it's serious. I want to introduce him to Jalil and Jabari this weekend. It's like you've been punched in the gut. Oh? I didn't want to do it without letting you know. But I'm not asking you for permission. You're having a hard time looking at her. I understand. I wish you two the best. You turn on your heel and walk back to your car. Noor doesn't call after you, only goes inside to get your children unpacked. Once the door is shut, you fasten your seatbelt and check your mirrors. You check that all 4 windows are rolled up tightly. And then, you scream. Phew. Okay, I just restarted Restream, so hopefully that will sort out the issue with the chat. Okay, let's meet Biggs. A crash course in friendship. That sounds nice. Content warnings for controlling behavior. Alright then. On a typical afternoon, you can be found curled up on your couch, relaxing after a long day of work with a copy of Parrrt magazine. When you don't have your sons to worry about and the weather is nice, you go out on the back porch and enjoy your weekly allotted cigarette. It's a part of your routine that you look forward to, this hour or two where you focus on yourself and relax. Even when Jalil and Jabari are at home, you still try to honor this part of your day, although sometimes it has to wait until after the boys are asleep in bed. Today is only half typical. The boys are home, but not because this is your week to have custody of them. Noor called you frantically around noon because a new girl at her lab ruined a sample. Your heart flip-flopped when you heard it. A long time ago, you would have asked her to stay on the line to talk shit about this new girl and how incompetent she is. The two of you would drive your bosses crazy with how long you'd stay on the phone with each other while you were on the clock. Back then, your bosses were too scared to look homophobic to really punish you for all the alleged time theft you committed. Now, upper management has taken a few too many diversity trainings, so you couldn't pull that scam even if you had someone to pull it with. In any case, Noor should be arriving to pick the boys up within the next hour, and until she does, you're going to enjoy your time with them. The 3 of you are sitting in the living room. Jalil is building a tower of blocks while Jabari draws with crayons on a piece of printer paper. The television is playing one of the boys' favorite programs, Claw Captors, which fills the room with a steady supply of background noise. A commercial plays for the show's tie-in toys, and you brace yourself to be bombarded by your sons begging for plastic imitations of cartoon owls. Instead, you hear an engine backfire loudly outside of your house. You wince at the sound and thank yourself for having the ability to maintain your car properly. Your sons seem unbothered by the noise, which you're thankful for. Jaleel continues building his block tower while Jabari sits in front of his unfinished drawing. Mama, someone is coming to our house soon. You look up from your magazine and towards the front door. It's probably Mama Noor coming to pick you up. No. His tone is firm. It isn't uncommon for him to predict an unusual guest's arrival. You try your hardest to remember if you made plans with one of your friends. A moment later, a timid knock comes at your door. Strange. If it is Noor, she'd normally just ring the bell, and if she's going to knock at all, she does so with confidence. She just looked like she would knock confidently. You make your way towards the front door. Another knock comes. You unlock the door and pull it open, bracing yourself to once again relinquish your children to your ex-wife. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this a bad time? You quickly try to fix your face. There's no reason to meet this stranger with any kind of animosity. Yet. I'm sorry, I'm satisfied with my cable and my religion, and I'm already affiliated with a political party. What? I work for PUS. Of course you do. You launched into your stranger at the door routine too early. The person standing on your porch is dressed in the classic brown uniform PUS delivery drivers wear. Sorry, it's been a long day and I didn't even notice. I don't think I'm expecting anything in the mail, though. I actually don't have a delivery for your address. My truck backfired outside of your place and now I can't get it to start. I was delivering something to the guy across the street and he said his auntie down the block was good with this kind of thing. I'm assuming you're the auntie in question? You can't help but crack a smile. The boys across the street like to drag race down some of the side streets in the neighborhood, and you fix their cars on the cheap as long as they demonstrate at least some semblance of road safety. One of them must have offered up your services. I am. You're a little too old to call me auntie, though. I'm Emhari Abdi. It's nice to meet you. You extend your hand and the PUS driver shakes it. Bye-bye, kitten game. Alright. Nice to meet you, Emhari. My name is Biggs Smallson. Alright, then. Well, Biggs, I should be able to take a look at your engine in a few minutes. I just need to wait for my ex to come by to pick up the kids. As you say that, you feel a tug on your legs. You look down to see both of your sons on either side of you, clutching to your pants. Who are you? You have pretty hair. It looks like Mama's when she's too, mixed up in her head to go to the barber. Hi, are you friends with Mama? Shit. You quickly scan the person on your porch. It isn't impossible for them to be trans femme, but based on how they're carrying themselves, you doubt it. In fact, you realize you've been unconsciously using they/them to describe him? This obviously isn't your business, but still, there's something about him that's reminiscent of yourself many years ago, before your egg had been cracked, so to speak. Boys, don't be rude. You look at the person on the porch, half smiling. I'm so sorry about that. There's really only one man who comes around my house, and it usually isn't when the kids are here. Not like a boyfriend or anything like that. We're just friends, and he's just terrible with children, if I'm being honest. Oh god, is it Malik? Wow, you sure are talking a lot. It's a bad habit of yours that always seems to come up at the worst possible moments. The PUS driver cracks an easygoing smile. No worries, I'm not uptight about that kind of thing. He/him is alright. He pauses, almost like he's thinking very seriously about what he's going to say next. Yeah, he/him is fine. Still, I want to teach my sons to be a little more polite to people they meet. Jaleel, Jabari, please ask your questions nicely. Hello, my name is Jaleel, my brother is Jabari, and are you Mama's friend? Hello, I'm Jabari. Do you know Uncle Arihi too? Oh, Arihi. Aww. No, I'm actually just getting a favor from your mama. My name is Biggs. It's very nice to meet you both. Your sons each extend a hand in an imitation of your greeting earlier. Biggs allows them to wrap their tiny hands around one of his, and he shakes them delicately. He then checks his watch and the electronic device attached to his hip. Speaking of, I need to deliver another couple of packages. I can come back once I'm done with them. My dolly is busted, so I'm going one at a time. Offer to help? Or I'll be here when you get back. Help him out. Why not? If you don't mind Jaleel and Jabari tagging along, we can certainly give you a hand. Biggs considers your offer for a moment. Well, I can't exactly say no to help. I mean, legally, you probably have to say no to help. But, yeah. Little bear. Oh my god, he's standing up on his hind legs and shaking the office door. I'm not going to be able to clock out until you finish taking a look at the engine, so I guess it doesn't really matter if I take some extra time to show Jaleel and Jabari here how I do my thing. He smiles wide at the boys, who beam up at him in response. Mama, I want to see the place they make the mail before it comes to our house. Auntie Biggs, do you have to deliver all the packages in the world? That doesn't sound fair. Jaleel and Jabari have left your side to start clinging to Biggs' legs. He reaches down and scoops them up, one on each hip. Not in the whole world, just in the neighborhood. Sometimes it can feel like it's the whole world, though. Is it all right for them to keep calling you Auntie? I can get them to stop if it's a problem. Really, it's fine. I honestly kinda like it. He carries Jaleel and Jabari down the front walkway into the back of his truck. Inside, you see 2 fairly large packages. Between the 2 of you, though, you should be able to carry them both down the block in one trip. Hi, little bear. Gonna hang out on Kitten Cam again, sweetie? Hey, sweet boy. Oh, so handsome, my son. My handsome son. Gorgeous point of sunbeam. Up, and he's gone again. Oh, such is life. Hi, little bear. Hey, hon. Hey, baby. All right, kids. Excuse me. Time to stretch our legs and give Auntie Biggs his arms back. You don't want to be picked up, baby? I never want to be picked up. He doesn't want to be picked up. No, he doesn't. Mostly because when we pick him up, he goes straight into containment. Not always. No. Sometimes he gets kisses. Kisses? You're right. Yep. It's clear the boys would rather continue to be carried, but they get down without putting up a fuss. Biggs hands you one of the boxes. Fortunately, they're roughly the same size, which allows you to avoid the impenetrable matrix of gender politics that arises whenever you need to do a physical task alongside a man. Most cis guys you've met would probably miss your look of relief, but Biggs... You decide to stop that train of thought for now. You can revisit it if and when you get to know Biggs a little better. Hey, Laser's here! Hey! Good to see you, Laser! Jaleel, Jabari, do you remember the rules for when we're walking and Mama can't hold your hands? Both boys speak in a haphazard unison. No running, no splitting up, no trying to trip Mama. No running, no splitting up, no trying to trip Mama. Because Mama will have a panic attack and we don't want to deal with that today. Oh my god.
It's too real.
It is so real. Thank you so much for understanding, my loves. Laser says, good to see you all. Oh, those kids are so cute. Wow, you're pretty good at this whole parenting thing, huh? I'm not perfect, but I certainly try. Thanks, Biggs. That means a lot. Biggs leads the 4 of you down the block to the duplex where both packages are meant to be delivered. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this technically illegal? Or is that just if I were to open the mail? I don't think it's illegal, but to be honest, they don't pay me enough to give a... He stops himself just short of swearing in front of your kids. For me to care. Nice save. Once you've finished delivering the packages, you head back to your house. You can see how taking 2 trips would have probably taken Biggs a while. He once again scoops Jaleel and Jabari into his arms, carrying them back to your house while the boys chatter relentlessly about claw captors. And, the cool thing is that, the owl who's, in charge gets to be the great horn, and, you think that that's always going to be the biggest and strongest owl, but, actually they take turns at being the great horn, and either way, they all have to listen and share, because the old owls all say that it's important to remember that even when they're different, all owls are owls, and they're all stronger when they hoot and fly and hunt together. So now me and Jabari want to share everything so we can be like them. Honey Biggs, do you want to hoot too? Oh. Mama, can Auntie Biggs come over next week so we can all play claw captors together? The smile on your face is so wide as you approach your house that even seeing Nor posted up on the porch isn't enough to make it falter. Ummi! Ummi! Oh my god, when they get the stars in their eyes is so fucking cute! The boys scramble out of Biggs's hold and run toward their mother. Hello, my loves. Emhari. God, just the way her expression shifts is so good. Just perfect. The shift in her tone is probably too subtle for the boys to pick up on, but the animosity lacing the syllables of your name feels like a knife digging into your back. It's a lot harder to pantomime. And who is this? Biggs extends a hand to Nor. She doesn't take it. Biggs Smallson. It's nice to meet you. Emhari was just doing me a quick favor, neighbor to neighbor. She takes his hand and shakes it half-heartedly. Ummi, did you know that Auntie Biggs delivers all the packages in Jercy City? Not the whole city, Jaleel. Just to Mama's house. You don't miss the soft smile that creeps onto Nor's face. That sounds fascinating. Why don't you both tell me all about what you did at Mama Emhari's house today in the car, okay? She takes the boys by their hands and leads them down to her car. Bye-bye, Mama. Bye-bye, Auntie Biggs. Bye-bye, Mama. Bye-bye, Auntie Biggs. Oh my god, they're fucking precious. They're so precious. Oh my god. Oh, they wave their little hands goodbye and then they're gone. Alright, now that the kids are gone, I can give your engine my undivided attention. Smooth. You lead Biggs over to your garage where you keep most of your supplies. Hey, I really can't thank you enough for all this. I'm sure you must be pretty busy. It's really no trouble at all. Honestly, once the kids go back to Nor's place, I tend to just kind of mope. So this is nice. Shit, that might have been a little too vulnerable for the first time you're really having a conversation with this guy. That's really real. I can only imagine how hard it is. An uneasy silence sits over you two as you open up the hood of Biggs's van. Your palms start to clam up. It's been too long since you've hung out with a Rihi because all of a sudden you feel words bubbling up in your mouth. You can't stop them from frothing over your lips, even if you wanted to. I guess it should be getting easier. I mean, we've been divorced before the boys could even walk, so it shouldn't be this hard anymore, right? Being a single mom is difficult. I don't think you should beat yourself up for having a hard time. He's right. You take a deep breath. Your ex seems, responsible at least. Don't mind Nor. My face just puts her in a bad mood. There's nothing I can do about it now. You shine your flashlight deep into the recesses of Biggs's engine block. There are a few things that could be making the engine backfire, and you're hoping it's something you're capable of handling yourself. I think a switch in your brain flips. You forget about Nor. You forget about the ache caused by your son's absence. You forget that you just pulled yourself from the edge of panic. You are in your element. No, I know I can fix this. I love his confidence. Hey, Vash! Good to see you. You straighten up to deliver the full diagnosis. It looks like your air intake tube is punctured. Lucky for you, I can replace it for you right now. I keep telling my manager he needs to get the van serviced more often. Shit, are you sure it's not too much trouble for you? Really, it's not a problem. I tend to stock up on this part since the boys on the street treat their cars so rough. Oh, it all makes sense now. Is that why the dude down the block said that Auntie Emhari could hook me up? Were those his exact words? God, he makes me sound like a drug dealer. Don't worry, I assumed you weren't going to try to sell me any drugs. No offense, but you open your front door too quickly to be a drug dealer. You're right about that, I guess. You lead Biggs back to your garage. It's messy in there, but you're not embarrassed about it. It could be worse. Your house could be the dumpster fire instead of your garage. If Biggs is put off by the crates full of loose parts stacked haphazardly around the floor, the greasy rags scattered around a small yet ominous puddle of iridescent black motor oil, and the ever-present smell of sweat and rust, he doesn't say anything. I mean, I was gonna say, like, the crates full of loose parts actually seem like a selling point. Greasy rags is definitely a fire hazard. I should have a tube that'll fit your engine over here. You wander over to where you keep the parts that are made out of plastic and rubber. You start digging through a disintegrating cardboard box on a shelf until you find the part you need. Let's see. The kittens are being chill. Let's see if I can get them back on kitten cam. A lot of intermittent kitten cam action. Turn on, little bear. Okay. Alright, let's do this. You quickly get to work detaching the old tube and installing the new one. When did you learn how to do all this? My dad and my uncles all worked in the Bjord plant when I was growing up in Dearborn. And it's not like they got paid enough to do more than lease the new cars they were making. So they made sure that the cars they owned outright would last as close to forever as a car can. And then they taught me and my cousins how to as well. And I guess the boys on this block remind me of them a little bit. Hey, son. What's up? Is that getting Gideon now? Hi, little bear. Hi, baby boy. So it's nice to help them how I can. It's weird because I haven't been back to visit in so long, but it's like I'm not even homesick because it's like I have the same thing but better here. There you go again, talking like you just broke a lifelong vow of silence. It's just that Biggs puts you at ease in the way most men simply cannot. On top of that, it really has been a while since you've really had a conversation with someone outside of work that wasn't about shapes. Word? That's honestly really dope. I'm guessing you'll teach your kids the same when they're older? I absolutely will. For now, it's hard to find time to work on my own projects. They're just a little too young to do activities that they aren't particularly invested in yet, especially ones that involve power tools. How old were you when you started using power tools? Oh, probably around when I was 6. Jaleel and Jabari still have a couple years to go. Until then, it's a full-time job keeping an eye on both of them at the same time. I'm looking forward to when they're in school and I can finally talk to other adults again. Well, shit. I think I have an idea that'll work out for both of us. What is it? Well, not to make any bold assumptions since we just met, but you said it yourself. You don't spend a lot of time hanging out with other adults, and I want to thank you for helping me out and giving me a legit reason to get some overtime. So why don't we do both at the same time? You're finished with your work now, your hands lightly coated in oil and dirt from the inside of the engine. Oh. What would you say to you, me, and the kids all going somewhere together? Wow, I mean, that's pretty bold. We can pick something that'll be interesting to them, And I'll help you watch them, and you can also, you know, talk to another adult. I mean, you could just, like, go out without the kids, since he doesn't have the kids right now. I'm the other adult, in case that wasn't clear. You take a moment to consider the offer. Honestly, that sounds great. Little bear, he's staring at his papa and purring. Oh, well. Oh, so I guess we exchanged digits. Cool. After a few days spent exchanging texts and coordinating schedules, you two decide to meet at the Jercy City Zoo on a sunny Saturday afternoon. You arrive 10 minutes late, which for you might as well be an hour early. You have your black backpack and a tote bag you got for subscribing to some car magazine years ago, both stuffed nearly to bursting with water and snacks and every miscellaneous thing you could fit in there. Jaleel and Jabari each clutch onto one of your hands. This morning you dressed them in matching overalls and bucket hats, just in case you lose one of them and need to describe their appearance under pressure. You walk towards the entrance, scanning the crowd for Biggs. He's standing off to one side, dressed in casual shorts and a baggy t-shirt. It's honestly strange to see him outside of his PUS uniform, but it makes sense that he wouldn't be wearing his work clothes when he's off the clock. He waves at you with a wide grin as you approach. Oh god, they're so cute! Auntie Biggs! Auntie Biggs! Hey, how are the owl boys doing? Anything cool happened back at the nest since I last saw you? Biggs squats down so that the boys can get a good grip around his shoulders before he lifts them up off the ground to the sound of their manic giggling. It's a relief that they get along so well. It'll make following your itinerary that much easier. Hey, Biggs. Sorry we're a little late. You know how getting kids out the front door can be. No worries, it isn't that late, and besides, you're here now. Still, I try to be on time as much as I can. It's just that things sometimes get mixed up in the shuffle, you know? Biggs suddenly takes on an air of aged wisdom, even though you're pretty sure you're at least a year or two older than him. There's nothing wrong with being a few minutes late now and then. You're a good mom, Emhari. The statement is a seemingly simple declaration, one with subjectivity woven through each individual word, and yet, when Biggs says it, you can't help but feel that maybe, just maybe, he's correct. Thanks. That really means a lot. Don't mention it. For once, you let the silence speak before you stretch on. If Jaleel or Jabari want to break it, they're free to do so. Auntie Biggs? And like clockwork, they do. Auntie Biggs, do owls live at the zoo? Mama says a lot of birds don't live there because they can fly away, but, Jabari thinks that, there have to be some birds who want to live there since the zoo, doesn't have a roof and they can, play with all the other animals. While Jaleel batters Biggs with questions about the zoo, you dig through your tote bag for your entrance passes. As an employee of the Jercy City School District, you, your family, and up to 5 guests per season are allowed free entry into most municipal sites, including the zoo. He is purring so loudly. I hope the mic is picking it up. It's probably not, but oh my god, what a purr. Purr, purr, purr. It's a fine benefit to be sure, but you'd much rather see your coworkers get a raise, or at the very least better health insurance. Alright, let's all line up for sunscreen. You've already applied SPF to yourself and your kids before you left the house, and even though it hasn't been 2 hours, it can't hurt to reapply now that you have a minute of stillness. On cue, Jaleel and Jabari climb out of Biggs's arms and stand next to each other, arms spread wide and eyes clamped shut. All good kids. Biggs remains still for a moment before slowly emulating the boys' positions. A strange look settles onto his face as he does so. Take a minute or pay it no mind? Take a minute. Before you launch into your usual sun care routine, you take a breath. Jaleel and Jabari are in front of you, their little arms outstretched and their eyes clamped tight. They are both... Oh, they're 5 now? I thought they were 4 at the beginning. Did we miss a birthday? They're both 5 years old and physically incapable of putting sunscreen on themselves. These things are not true of Biggs. Oh, sorry, Biggs. I guess I forgot about the whole talking to other adults thing. I don't need to put your sunscreen on for you if you don't want me to. Biggs immediately puts his hands down, and it occurs to you that, yeah, it is kind of weird for a grown woman to platonically apply sunscreen to a grown man without establishing that that's okay first. No worries, I can put it on myself, but I mean, I get how it can be kind of difficult to get yourself out of parent mode, huh? Tell me about it. I'll hand over the spray once I'm done with these little guys. Jaleel and Jabari wait patiently for you to spray their bodies with SPF 30. Mia says, yay, Emhari! Yeah. Emhari's a cutie. When you're done, you pass the can over to Biggs while you rub 2 tablespoons each of SPF 54 special formula for sensitive skin sunscreen onto their faces and necks. You move on to yourself when Biggs is finished, and soon after you feel confident that you're sufficiently protected from the sun. Auntie Biggs, Mama says that, the sun is our friend. And she, sometimes she hugs us too hard, but it isn't on purpose. And that's why we have to wear sunscreen all the time, because if you don't, you can get sick. You smile as your sons recount your explanation to him. You strive to strike a balance between outright lying to your children about the way the world works and confusing them with overly detailed answers that only lead to more questions. While the boys proceed to talk at him, Biggs turns to you with an attentive look. So, I know you said when we were planning this that you like to have a game plan. So I was thinking we could do a loop around the zoo and take turns carrying the boys if they get tired of walking. It occurs to you that Biggs has put almost as much thought into this as you have. Not quite the same amount. He isn't legally or morally responsible for your son's safety, but he must have gotten close to your sons. You need to lighten up a little. That or you've been hanging out with Ariki too much. I was actually thinking we do the exact same thing. Our minds. Little Bear, did you just knock something over and then come back over? I swear these cats teleport. Hey, baby girl. What's up, princess? Princess, baby girl. Don't touch me, Badger. Don't touch me. You better sniff your finger. Don't touch me. No touchy. Okay, scooches. God, she's so cute. Okay. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get going. The 4 of you walk up to the entrance to the zoo and step into the moderately sized line. I'm just looking at Biggs's necklace right now, and I swear to God that's like an AO3 logo. I'm probably just seeing things. Auntie Biggs, what do you think we'll see first? I don't know. What do you want to see first? I want to see a bird. What kind of bird, my lamb? Oh my God, the my lamb just, oh. I love it. I love it. Are you my lamb? Are you my lamb? And your kitten. Oh, she fucking loves scratches. What a good girl. What a good girl. What a good girl. Oh my God, she's so precious. Jabari falls into contemplative silence. There are so many birds, after all. Your group reaches the ticket window and you slide your passes through the hole in the partition glass. Oh, hi. Your fingers brush against the clerk's as she, a khaki-clad woman with a visibly self-administered haircut, reaches for your passes, and her entire face lights up with a blush so intense it looks purple. Oh! Thanks. Have a great rest of your day. Reflexively, you shoot her a wink as you walk away. Okay, Mr. Smooth, I see you. What? You totally made that ticket girl's whole life. If she wasn't gay this morning, well, she is now. He gives you a playful shove and you laugh. Oh, come on, it wasn't that much. Sure, keep saying that. You're about to have all the zoo staff eating out of your hand if you keep it up. You return his playful shove and continue walking into the zoo. A large plaza stretches before you. There's a round, regal-looking building with a glass-domed roof immediately in front of you. Why don't we go in there first? Sounds good to me. The door to the building opens on a cool stone lobby decorated with plaques celebrating the zoo's conservation efforts. Yeah, I mean, a covered place seems like the best place to have a chance to see zoo birds. Although it looks like zoo butterflies. I mean, you could probably have both. Further ahead are two glass doors staffed by an attendant. The attendant leads you all into a vestibule and scans the second set of doors before allowing you to enter the exhibit. The room is round, lined floor to ceiling with climbing vines. Pools of clear water line the bases of the walls, and another pool sits in the center of the floor. It's near exploding with water lilies and palms and other tropical flora. Hundreds of butterflies zip around the space, flitting between flowers and dishes of nectar on the walls, and colorful t-shirts. Mama, there are so many! His eyes grow wide with amazement as a butterfly lands on his outstretched hand. Be gentle, my lamb. Laser says, those are my least favorite areas of zoos. You could be pooped on at any time. I mean, true. But isn't that just like being outside anywhere? Your sons slowly wander around the room. The space is small enough that you can keep your eyes on them easily, even when they aren't directly next to you. Jabari and Jaleel wander over to the pool in the center of the room and peer at a butterfly with brilliant blue wings resting on a water lily. They stand transfixed at the edge of the water as the butterfly slowly opens and closes its wings. You look over to Biggs and notice that a few butterflies have landed in his hair. Biggs, stand still for a second. You pull out your phone and snap a picture before Biggs has a chance to move. Laser says it will happen and you don't know when. Princess. It's just like having cats. You will get pooped on and you don't know when. Little bear, sweetie, stop that, son. Little bear, please stop. I want all of your attention, Papa.
What are you doing to get Papa's attention?
Bang on the door.
No, you scream.
But I'm banging on the door and it works. Look at you paying attention to me. Attend to me, Papa. Oh, precious. Oh my God. Beautiful. Looking good. Check it out. Nice. But I think Jabari has me beat. You turn to look at where Biggs is pointing. Jabari is standing still with both arms held in front of him. Dozens of colorful butterflies rest on him, decorating his arms, shoulders, and the top of his head. Jaleel stands beside his brother, uncharacteristically still as he observes the gentle flap of the colorful wings before him. You quickly pull out your phone so that you can capture the moment, making a note to have it printed so you can send copies to your mom and to your aunt Babawa. Laser says, I have been scarred. Pardon my biases. So I'm assuming you have been shat upon in the bird enclosures then. Baby boy, please stop making all that noise, sweetie. He's very annoying. God, he's so cute. I know you can't see him right now, but he's very cute. And Miss Gideon is cute as well. My sweet Gideon. Oh, sweetie girl. Sweet little sweetie girl. The butterflies leave after a few moments when Jabari starts to get tired of standing so still. Goodbye, my friends. Once you're sure there are no lingering passengers on either of your sons, you usher them towards a door at the back of the room. Much like the one you used to enter the room, this door is staffed by an attendant who makes sure that no butterflies are escaping before allowing you to pass into the next part of the building. The previous room was pretty warm, but the next one is so humid you can almost see the moisture in the air. Tropical plants and bodies of water surround a roped-off walkway that weaves through the large space. The air is heavy with the distinct smell of multiple birds in one room. Calls and squawks fill the space, bouncing off of the walls, creating a symphony of nature that rumbles through your entire body. Okay, so place your bets now. Who is going to get pooped on first? Emhari, Jaleel, Jabari, or Biggs? I mean, Biggs is the biggest target. But the kids are very colorful. With their brightly colored clothing. Mama, look! Jaleel points a finger at a medium-sized bird bobbing around in the water feature directly in front of you. The bird's feathers are a brilliant red, so bright it's almost neon. Baby boy, please stop that. Hey, hey, little bear, little bear. Oh my god. Little bear, leave your papa alone, baby. Papa's gotta do work. Papa can't play with you right now. He's like in a movie when you just see like kids with their faces pressed up against the glass. That's what he's doing to our glass door right now. Oh no. Oh. Laser says it went into the space between my eye and my glasses. Oh no. Oh, that is unfortunate. Yeah, no, I don't blame you for being disenchanted with the bird enclosures then. It stands in perfect stillness, its long beak dipped below the surface of the water that goes up to its spindly knees. You look around for a placard so that you can tell him what kind of bird this is. It takes a moment because the birds are flying freely around, but eventually you find it. That one is called a scarlet ibis. It's from South America, and it eats bugs. Is, South America, where Granny is from? No, my lamb, your granny is from South Africa, not South America. Yeah, Jabari, and Papa Abdul is from Qatar, and Ummi is from Palestine. Oh, okay. Is South America near Jercy City? No, it's very far away. There are lots of different birds there, though. You continue answering your son's questions about geography while Biggs helps you shuffle them outside of the building and towards other parts of the zoo. You walk down carefully manicured paths, stopping every so often so the boys can drink water and eat a quick snack. Baby boy, please. Mr. Bear, please stop that, son. God, he's gonna tear right through the window one of these days. Ooh, that is pretty. The boys ooh and ah inside the amphibian building, complain about being cold inside the penguin house, and stand stunned, if not a little fearful, at the extensive reptile room. Eventually, you stop to rest in front of the lake in the middle of the zoo, where swans and beavers swim beneath the rush of a large fountain. You can't help but register how pleasant all of this is. It isn't that you don't love your sons, you love them more than anything or anyone on this wretched earth. You just haven't had an opportunity to spend time with them and another adult, and, well, things fell apart with Noor long before you could actually parent together. With Biggs, it isn't exactly how you imagine doing this kind of thing with Noor, or with any other woman you've dated for that matter, but it's nice in a way that you truly hadn't anticipated. This is great, Biggs. Thank you again for suggesting we get together. Hell yeah, your kids are great, and you're pretty cool if you don't mind me saying so. Well, it's certainly easier to be cool when I'm not keeping track of 2 kids. I get that. My big sister Amber runs a daycare, and she's always talking about how hard it is for her to switch off her adult supervision mode. You have a sister? Is she hot? Unbidden, you imagine what she might look like. You picture someone who looks just like Biggs, only with that indescribable energy that women have, regardless of something as fickle and mutable as biology. Yeah, I'm the youngest of three. There's Hugh, Amber, and me, the Smallsons. Little Bear does not have the brain cell today. No, he does not. He does not. Oh my god, he's staring at me now. Hi, honey. I don't know if Kitten Cam can pick this up. Let's see. Hi, son. He's kind of in range. He's just sitting there. Hi, sweetie. I love you, and I love you, my Gideon. What a good girl. You need to learn more about this sister. Ask about his family or ask about Amber? Let's be discreet and just ask about the whole family. Princess, where are you going? Are you gonna attack my... Oh, you're gonna attack my fucking cable, aren't you? Don't you do that. As soon as I moved my headphone out of her range, she has lost interest. Tell me more about your family. Well, my siblings and I are pretty close. We went between our parents' houses a lot, and I guess in all that we ended up being friends and not just siblings. Hey, princess. It's honestly really nice. Having them in my life is really positive. I can imagine. I want Jalil and Jabari to be friends and brothers, inshallah. I don't have any siblings, though, so I guess I'm worried that I'll miss it if they suddenly fall out with each other. I really don't think that'll be an issue. Look. Biggs draws your attention to your sons, who have walked up to the edge of the water and are taking turns running towards an irritated-looking swan, laughing and waving their hands in its face as it tries to swim along the shore. Look, they're already being dicks to nature. Hey, back on the box, huh? Oh shit, hang on. Jalil Fahumi Abdi. Jabari Fahumi Abdi. We do not antagonize swans. Come here right now before you get bitten. Your sons sheepishly return to your side, and you quickly walk them towards an area of the zoo where you're certain that they won't be attacked by anything. As you think about it more, you aren't even sure that the swan is part of the zoo. It, like the many Canadian geese that swarm the sidewalks, could have very well wandered in from some golf course and set up shop here. In any case, you make a note to give a waterfall-focused safety seminar at work. You do not want to fuck with swans. You lead your sons toward a path that spirals below the ground. Auntie Biggs, what do you think is down there? I'm not sure, but I bet we'll find out pretty soon, won't we? Hey, princess. God, keeping Kitten Cam focused on the kittens is like a full-time job today. Your group enters a space meant to evoke the atmosphere of a frozen cave. The walkways lead through the cave and wind underneath an immense saltwater pool designed for the enrichment of polar bears. Oh, cool. Excuse me. You follow the flow of people toward a glass-domed tunnel that runs beneath the pool. Benches line the tunnel so that people can stop and take a rest or take pictures. Baby bear. Son, please. Stop. Mama, look, a baby! You look over to where Jabari is pointing. Jalil is kneeling on a bench a few steps ahead, his gaze locked with a polar bear cub, who looks equally fascinated with Jalil. Jabari, go over by your brother so I can take a nice picture for your aunties. I can take it. You should be in the picture too, Emhari. Aww. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can take it. You have a hard time putting it into words, but somehow allowing Biggs to complete a task that you had already decided you were going to do makes you want to rip all of your hair out. You're sure you didn't disguise the strain in your voice. Still, you walk over to your sons and kneel beside them. Emhari, this is going to look amazing. You don't understand why this all feels so wrong. On an intellectual level, you understand that this isn't a big deal at all. And yet, after an afternoon full of too many smells and sounds and everything, losing control over this one little thing might just push you over the edge. You clench your jaw and begin clicking your tongue against the roof of your mouth in an attempt to channel some of the excess energy that has begun coursing through you. Biggs, give me a sec before you take the picture. Sure, are you good? I'll get back to you on that one. You know that you can't rush yourself into calming down or you'll only make things worse. It's just a picture. It'll be over in a second. Baby bear. Oh my god. You are very cute and very annoying, son. Oh my god. Little bear, leave your papa alone. Papa's at work, baby. You take in a shaking breath and turn so that your profile stands out. You put your arms around your son so that they're in frame and covering the vast majority of your body. Emhari, don't get startled, but you should look up right now. Part of you wants to scream at him not to tell you what to do, but you do manage to stop yourself. You grit your teeth and look up. Oh, oh my god, the polar bears are like in the same pose. Oh my god. That is adorable. The polar bear cub is still hovering in the water, separated from your sons by inches of plexiglass. Above it, you see an adult bear swimming protectively, almost mirroring the hold you have over your own sons with her energy. Yes, I got the picture. And it hits you that you wouldn't have gotten to see something like this if you hadn't let Biggs take this picture, if you hadn't agreed to allow an acquaintance to spend a day with you and your sons, if you hadn't opened your door to a stranger in need. You stand up, bidding farewell to the mother bear and her cub, who swim away at a relaxed pace. You take your sons by the hands and walk back over to Biggs. Are you sure you're good? You seem a little tense. Well, kind of. I guess it's hard for me to change my plans even when it's something small. Oh, I feel that. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's cool that you managed to let go a little. The picture turned out really beautiful. Thanks for that. I really mean it. And please send that to me so I can send it to my mother. Of course. I'll send it right now. Your phone buzzes with an incoming message containing the picture. Before you open it, though, an idea occurs to you. Biggs, can I ask you something strange? Go for it. Would you say you make a good wingman? Of course Biggs would make a good wingman. You don't even have to ask. Friends like him are 1 in a million. You've only known him for a few days, but it feels like you've been friends with him all your life. He laughs before he responds. It's contagious, so you laugh too. Depends. I don't think the zoo would be the ideal place to look for a partner. Biggs hefts Jaleel up on his back, and Jabari curls his small hand around your own. I mean, we're platonic bros? You didn't think in a million years you would befriend someone like Biggs. He's someone you can depend on who is also fantastic with your kids. It would be a crime if you didn't treat him to drinks later at your favorite club, a spot that you know he'd love. You're vibrating at the thought. I've got a certain bar in mind. It's important that your friendship with Biggs doesn't revolve completely around your kids. It's fine. You can do this. You can ask your friends to hang out. You can be normal. You don't have to plan out everything in your head before it happens. You can go to the bar and let Biggs do his thing, and you do your thing, and you both will still be good friends at the end of the night. Of course. Just say when and where. A friend that will follow you to the ends of the earth. That's Biggs. And you will not smother him and ruin this friendship. This you promise. Oh, precious. Normalist mom at the zoo. Oh my god. Sweetheart. Did you find a brain cell, baby? Did you So handsome, my boy. Okay. Precious. Okay. Who's up next? Oh god! Inaya! Fancy seeing you again. You've got a fast car. I haven't listened to that. Wow. Content warnings, alcohol, and not safe for work. I assume it, like, is it just the other side of the date that we had with Inaya, or... And then he had the audacity to kiss me. Can you believe the things that happened to me? You were totally into it, Arihi. Lord, I should have slapped him across the face. Uh-huh, that's nice. Emhari, are you listening to me? Yes, of course I am. All right, well, blatant lies aside, I suppose I appreciate your willingness to let me rant. You're always a hair's breadth from blowing up on the nearest person, and Arihi is just unpleasant all around. It's not like either of you have any redeeming qualities, let alone other friends to hold hostage. Aww. Boshana says, Mia said platonic love is so real. Yeah, it is. And I love that this game, like, embraces that. My goodness. Handsome boy. Aren't you sweet? You're definitely the only person Arihi can rant to, so that's not saying anything special. Wait, why are you talking about yourself like this? The ease with which self-deprecation eases into your thoughts is unsettling. I was thinking about getting a new bookshelf for my office. They're having a furniture sale at Gracie's, if you want to come with. I remember you mentioning that you wanted a new front table. You don't have to come, though. That's totally Arihi's way of asking you to go furniture shopping with him. He can never just outright say he wants to have company. He has to jump through a million hoops justifying why he wants to spend time with someone he loves and explain it, so that he doesn't sound like a mushy, gushy, bleeding heart who actually believes in the power of friendship. Anoki would probably describe him as tsundere. They taught you that what that word meant a few days ago, and now you can't stop associating it with Arihi. That's besides the point, though. You know Arihi doesn't mean any harm, and it's endearing when he gets like this. But it's time to shake the table. Maybe you should be mischievous for a change. Keep him on his toes. Have him dig for the meaning in your words. You purposely switch back to your preoccupied expression. Instead of responding, you tap your fingers against the arm of your chair, letting the low rumble of Arihi's voice wash over you. I've got a plan. What? You heard what I said. Whoa, did you just channel some of Arihi just then? Scary. This is probably the first time Arihi's plan has been answered with a plan. Now he has to use his megamind brain to come up with a plan for your plan that he already planned the plans he planned. Or after he already planned the plans that he planned. Whew. His brain has to work overtime trying to figure out where exactly this conversation is going. He's probably going to be so annoyed, but you know he lives for this kind of mental gymnastics. You can vividly picture him inside your head, wearing a solid black singlet and some loose shorts, standing atop one of Alonso's hot pink gym mats, doing a standing high leg bent knee hamstring stretch, trying to outthink you. The mental image is so endearing that a smile teases your lips. In regular Arihi fashion, he arches a brow and clears his throat. He probably thinks you're laughing at him. Furniture shopping is fun. I agree, Habibi. I was not arguing. It's just that you can be so adorable sometimes. Or rather, you can't help but cherish the moments where Arihi's tough exterior cracks, and you get a glimpse at the mellow man within. Truly, you're grateful for his friendship. You're honored that you get to call him your best friend. He can be a little rough around the edges, but quiet and gentle, too. You can't put a Rihi in a box, no matter how much you'd like to. There's a lot more to him than people think. For example, he has many layers, like an onion. He makes you cry, and if you leave him out in the sun for too long, he starts sprouting little white hairs. Not everyone likes onions, but everybody likes cakes, and cakes have layers. I mean, some do. I'd take you across the globe with the boys and I if I had the means. Hey, princess. What are you up to? Is it naughtiness? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, baby bear. Oh, sweet boy. Sweet little bear. In fact, the place I have in mind is not far off from a furniture store. Arihi gives you that look. You know the one. His eyes are scooping yours out of your skull. He's not only judging your life's choices, he's judging your soul. Deadpan, arms folded, a subtle lean in your direction. The judge, jury, and executioner are right here in the middle of your living room. It's moments like these where you realize you and Arihi are polar opposites. Arihi's fire, you're ice, and you complement each other so well. Except that fire melts ice. He's the perfect amount of ridiculous to balance out your control freak tendencies. Emhari, it's nearly sundown on a Friday. What fun thing could we possibly do? I'm glad you asked. I'm gonna go clubbing, baby boy. My lovely boy. Oh, look at you, you handsome little prince. I hate you. You love me. I despise you. I'm so glad I remembered. It took me a little while to remember the tone that I like to give Arihi, but I think I've got it. It's been a while. I love you more. I abhor you. I don't know what that word means, but I adore you to pieces. Of course you know what that word means. You're a teacher, for goodness sake. You just love to mess with him. You know he knows you know. He endlessly compliments you on your intellectualism. Your memory isn't the greatest, but you could swear he's said you're one of the few people worthy enough to convert the same oxygen that he does into carbon dioxide. Is that even possible? Who knows? What you do know is that you're equals in his eyes, which is the highest praise coming from Arihi Cooper. Come on, we used to go here all the time. You mean you used to drag me here all the time. And we had fun. Did I have fun? I must have forgotten that part, in between all the miserable small talk I made with drunk strangers. I don't exactly do well at lesbian bars. Oh, like you do well at the straight bars? Arihi Cooper, forced to turn... blah, 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 blah. Arihi Cooper, forced to come to terms with the fact that he has as much game as belly button lint. He's so cute, though. He is an asshole, but he is so cute. You have to pat yourself on the back for that one. Now that you and Arihi have been hanging out more often, you've been whetting your wit like a knife. Yes, whetting your wit like a knife. Your comebacks are like punches to the jaw. You have your mentor to thank for that. Speaking of Arihi, he turns his back on you and enters the club. You smile as he bundles the detritus of his ego and takes it with him, where what's left of it will be pounded into dust because he can't engage in polite conversation, especially with strangers. By the end of the night, you'll be peeling him off the floor and carrying him bridal style to the car so you can drive him home. You're surrounded by women. Well, mostly women, which isn't surprising at a lesbian bar. This is a sanctuary, a safe place for all, and it fills you with a kind of excitement that you haven't felt in a long time. All these pretty faces in the world, and you're still brooding over mean, no fun allowed nor. Leave it to a club to remind you that you can have whoever you want. The world is your oyster. Yeah, it was a good idea to come here. As you take in the throng of people, you notice there's quite a few couples enjoying their time together. You go from high as a kite to bitter in the blink of an eye. All the character development you just went through got deleted, as if whoever's writing this route just mashed the backspace key in reckless abandon. Meta. You click your tongue against the roof of your mouth and walk towards the bar so you can get something to drink. Hi, do you have any non-alcoholic seltzers available? I can get you a can of Le Cru if you want. Do you have anything that tastes good? I mean, I guess I can get you a non-alcoholic Black Claw. That would be great, thanks. The drink ended up costing $10 entire, which seems like a lot for a can of Black Claw, but you aren't going to complain about it. You leave your card up so you can start a tab. Hydration is vital after all. You don't mind it here, but the music is far too loud. So loud, in fact, that you feel the beginnings of a panic attack coming on. And you know what's good at stopping impending panic attacks? Taking your mind off the thing that's giving you a panic attack. So your thoughts don't start spiraling and go from "this music is too loud" to "the FBI is right outside the club with a battering ram and is coming to arrest Ricky." And because a balled up receipt fell out of his pocket, and neither of us noticed, and now we're both facing 20 years to life for littering. Okay. I guess it's all because it just... hello. Instead of fearing the music, you decided to become the music. The beat of your heart synchronized the angular, low bitrate sounds of Pulse X blaring through the speakers. It starts with the small bounce of your foot, and suddenly the entire dance floor is under your command. And then, you see her. Oh, the world stops. You can't hear the music anymore. You almost break your neck doing a double take at the woman who's standing near the bar, all alone. She's standing near the bar, all alone, and something tells you that you absolutely need to get to know her.
Fish hat.
No, it's not Yolanda, but it's Inaya.
Aww.
Yeah. So now we get to see their one-night stand through Emhari's eyes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't
Which
know
I
that.
hope means that at some point, probably next week, maybe we'll get to see how Emhari knows Keaton's mom. Maybe? We'll see. See if that's a thing.
Very milkness.
Mary Milfness. Oh, God. Oh, you had a good thing about cougars that you wanted to share with me. You shared it on the server?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
The image didn't work right, but
Aw.
but Mia got the message.
Oh, good. Okay, that's the important thing. I'm glad that Mia got the message. All you know is that your body starts moving towards her before your brain can think thoughts. She's reeling you in like a fish caught on a hook. Everyone always tells you that you have a certain kind of magnetism about you, but it pales in comparison to the appeal this woman has. You absolutely have to know her. Personally, maybe even carnally if she's okay with it. Consent comes before anything else. She's cute, nervous. You get a better look at her as you approach. If you mention how adorable she looks off to the side, keeping to herself, she'll probably deny it as a point of honor, insist she eats at the salty spittoon. You know her type. A wallflower. Doesn't go out a lot. Has a friend that probably dragged her here, or insisted they come here together to prove she's not a stick in the mud. Her eyes keep darting around the room like she's afraid she's on a hidden TV show or the FBI is outside the club waiting to arrest her for accidentally littering. She's totally your type. Okay, Abdi. You've still got this. Once you're properly standing in front of her, you lean down and tap your knuckle against the side of her empty glass to get her attention. Can I buy you another one? Shit, why did you do that? Touching her glass? Getting all in her face like that? That's literally the most unhinged thing you've ever done. You need to abort the mission right now, immediately. They're $12. You can't help but laugh. Damn it. Alhamdulillah. Apologies for... I'm sure I mispronounced that very badly. She doesn't think you're a total creep. Pretty standard for this part of town. Gin and tonic? You hope you identified the correct spirit lingering on her breath. Even though you don't drink alcohol, there's something so enchanting about kissing a woman after she's had a drink or two. Fortunately, she nods. You flag down the bartender and purchase another seltzer concoction for yourself and a gin and tonic for... Fuck, you never got her name! It's okay, you can still recover from this. Once the drink orders are in and you've taken a steadying breath, you turn back to face her. I'm Emhari. Inaya. She extends her hand for you to shake, and it's like second nature for you to return the gesture. Do you, can you tell me your pronouns? Okay, this is a good sign she isn't a transmisogynist, at least. I mean, Inaya is literally wearing a she-they pen. She or he, just mix it up. You? Oh, she is fine. Do you come here often? She doesn't seem to have heard you. Shit, do you look too much like a mom to hit on women now? I'm sure that Mia has a response to that. That is... Yeah. Sorry, what? I asked, do you come here often? As a joke, you know? But now that I have to repeat it, I'm realizing that the only thing more annoying than asking someone if they come here often is joking about whether they come here often. Well, I don't come here often. This is my first time. Are you here alone? That is massively creepy. Is it possible for you to not sound like a total creep? Is that something you think you're capable of doing, Emhari? No, my friends are here. Well, friend, and he has people who are more fun than I am, so... Well, that's his loss. I'm having a great time with you. Yes, okay, that was actually smooth. My god, children. The kittens are fighting. In, you know, a normal way. Yes, okay, that was actually smooth. Do you? Do I what? Come here often. You don't exactly want to tell the truth that you initially came here with your ex-wife before she was your ex, and then you spent the first 6 months after your divorce hopping from lesbian bar to lesbian bar just so you could feel something. But every time you tried to be with a woman who wasn't Nor, you'd end up sobbing for hours while some poor femme tried and failed to comfort you. No, it's better if you leave out the gory details. More often than I probably should. Your drinks arrive a moment later and it hits you that it probably doesn't look great that you're not drinking at all, and Inaya is. Just let it go or try to explain yourself. I mean, they probably don't care, but... So, gin and tonic, huh? Gin can be pretty intense, or so I'm told. I wouldn't know. I don't drink alcohol. Oh, I mean, I guess I've heard that about gin. These really aren't that strong, though. For sure, and besides, you look like you can handle your liquor just fine. A strange look crosses your face when you say that, like you struck a nerve that you didn't know was exposed. This isn't the first time you've provoked a reaction out of someone by way of referring to a sensitive topic, but you'd never do it on purpose. It's funny when you do it to a Riki, but now you just feel like shit for ruining this woman's day. You need to fix this, right now. You quickly down the rest of your drink, too rattled to use it as a tool to help you pace the conversation. A different version of you, one from as recent as a few months ago, would just collect his things and go home. This version of you, though, you feel rooted to the spot you're standing in. Leaving now would mean giving up on Inaya. It would mean giving up on the idea that getting back out there is possible for you, and it would mean telling yourself that all the things that Biggs and Ariki and your other friends have desperately been trying to get you to believe about yourself aren't true. And you can't do that. But yeah, I guess I was wondering if you wanted to maybe dance? When you ask that, she softens and nods. You take her hand in yours and lead her to the dance floor. Hopefully once you stop talking, you can make a better impression. The bed squeak sound that weaves into drip samples and the vocal cuts of baby-making moans found in almost every Jercy City bound cloud production rush through your body like an electrical current. You don't have the fondest memories of your hometown, but house music puts the best of those memories at the forefront of your mind. You remember acting as the designated driver for the handful of gay kids at your high school on weekends, trying to sneak into innuendo or TV lounge. They'd blast this stuff in your car at max volume. You move behind Inaya, giving her the space to either lean against you or do her own thing, in your vicinity. Fortunately, she chooses to press into you and you sigh in relief. As you dance, you take note of how she responds to being touched. As into as she seems, you never know how far someone wants to take things until they say so out loud. Nora was never particularly into making too much eye contact in public, whereas you have an old flame named Mariella who wasn't happy unless you were practically fingering her on the dance floor. Dang. Something tells you that Inaya is more similar to Nor than Mariella in that respect. Your thoughts are interrupted when you notice Inaya talking to some twink you've never met before, and you assume this must be the friend she mentioned earlier. Speaking of friends, you remember Arihi. You do a quick scan of the crowd just to see if he's in the vicinity. Ooh. Focus on Inaya? Come the fuck on, Emhari. Didn't you just go through a whole internal monologue about this being worth doing? There's no way you're letting Arihi cockblock you right now when he's all the way on the other side of the room finding comfort at the bottom of a tin can. You did drag him there, though. You turn your attention back to Inaya. She's facing you now, pressed up against you. She's so warm, so soft. Your gaze wanders back to her lips. Inaya moves fluidly against you. Your senses are overtaken by her presence, the lingering gin on her breath, the soft curl of her hair. If you don't get this woman alone in the next 10 seconds, you might drop dead. You lean in, tempted to just kiss her right here, right now, but you hold yourself back. Permission is key. Do you want to get out of here? Here? Come on. She's nervous, but she still reaches for your hand before settling on your elbow. You'll find a way to reassure her in good time, but first you need to get her outside. The only problem is that she's leading you further into the crowd. What are you doing? I'm looking for Alex. I want to tell him not to wait for me. Can't you just text him? Oh, yeah! As you say this, you remember to send Arihi a text letting him know that he's on his own in terms of getting home. He'll be fine. Hopefully. Inaya allows you to lead her outside. You take a deep breath once the cool night air hits you. Did you drive here? You squeeze her hand, not for any reason in particular besides your ever-growing need to get closer to her. Yeah, but we should go back to your place instead of mine. I feel like that's what Emhari said in the previous, like, in Inaya's. Yeah. Yeah, but we should go to your place instead of mine. Sure, just, it's kind of a mess. You don't know why, but something tells you that now is a bad time to bring someone back to your place. I don't mind messy. Okay. You can't help but notice how nervous she is, and you resolve to do whatever you can to make her feel comfortable, starting by keeping this conversation on the way to her place light and easy. It helps that you really don't want to spill too much about your whole deal right now. It's probably a pretty big turnoff to hear that a potential hookup is still very much hung up on his ex-wife. Yeah, just ask Malik, right? You follow Inaya's directions and pull in front of her apartment building a few minutes later. She leads you inside without any fuss. She was right about it being messy, but you don't think it's anything outrageous. Just wait until the end of her storyline. Besides, you really have no place to judge that sort of thing. Hi, children.
Hey, guys.
Hi, baby girl.
Hi, Internet.
Now, on to the matter at hand. You press her into the doorframe, kissing her with everything you have. She's so soft in your arms, so cute, so shy, so before you get carried away, you want to take a moment to check in with Inaya. So, any likes or dislikes I should know about? Any parts you don't want me to touch? Oh, no, I mean, maybe not my feet? Not because I have, like, foot dysphoria, but just because my feet are gross. She's so cute you want to scream. Maybe I should be the judge of how gross your feet are. I don't think we know each other well enough for you to be the arbiter of my feet. I think that's more of a second date thing. Okay, fair enough. We can wait on the foot stuff. She laughs, and you never want to stop hearing the sound of it. You want something to drink? I'm good. Well, I should have some water. I'll regret it in the morning. Okay. You step back, maybe a little too quickly, but shit, it's been so long since you've done this kind of thing, and well, you really like her. Inaya walks to her kitchen, and your gaze lands on the piles of different cords on her counter. Weird. She must work in IT or something. You feel your phone vibrating in your back pocket, and you check it, thinking that Ariki might be in trouble. Instead, you see that Noor has sent you an absolute dissertation of a text message. For a moment, you consider ruining the rest of your night by responding to it. But you've already come this far, and you aren't about to waste it all by getting into an argument about nothing with your ex-wife. In fact, you're going to pretend Noor doesn't even exist. You drown in your water or something? Okay. Maybe you should take a deep breath or two before you start pretending Noor doesn't exist. You're still annoyed at Noor, and it's coming through when you speak to Inaya, which isn't fair. At least you got her attention, though. She returns to you, stopping to stare for a moment before approaching. Should I put on music or something? What do you like to listen to? Actually, you get closer to her. I find boning to music kind of cheesy. You hope that wasn't too forward. That's definitely not the classiest way of phrasing it, but yeah, you do you, Emhari. Oh, right. You walk behind her so you have the leverage to push her onto her couch. In your experience, shy girls like it when you toss them around a little bit. Before she can react, you're in her lap. Now that you're so close and your eyes are open and you're really, really going to do this, you take a moment to admire her. I like your eyebrows. What? You run the pad of your thumb across one. Her hair is so dark and thick, and she smells a little bit like sugar cookies. And she's so sweet and... I like them. Inaya laughs, and you worry that maybe you messed up. What? Nothing. She still has half a smirk on her face, but she's clearly getting lost in a thought that isn't really related to right here and now. So you lean in and kiss her again and again until you're both laughing. You wake up the next morning before the sun rises. Inaya has shifted toward you in her sleep, and you feel like the most evil person in the world when you quietly slide out of her bed. Bye, girl, what are you doing? Laser is scandalized. It must be pretty early, and you get the sense that she's going to be asleep for the foreseeable future. Baby girl, what are you doing? Don't mess with the wires, baby. Don't mess with the wires, sweetheart. You're more quiet than you've ever been before as you slip your clothes from last night back on. Disgusting. You're going to need a shower the second you get home. Laser says it got spicy in here. Yeah, that's right. You haven't been on these streams before. ValiDate gets spicy sometimes. Not too spicy, but just a little bit. Just a little bit. You take out your phone and realize two things immediately. Okay, if you hear a weird snuffling sound, that is Gideon sniffing the microphone. She's perfect. She's perfect. She's perfect, girl. You take out your phone and realize two things immediately. The first is that you only slept for a couple hours and that it is currently 4:30 in the morning. The second is that you have several missed calls and unread texts from Noor, as well as a few texts from Ariki. Shit. I do not want to deal with this right now. You exit Inaya's bedroom and into her bathroom to change, before heading towards her kitchen so you don't wake her up. You know what you could go for right now? A nice glass of crisp, cold water. Vashana says, that was tame compared to a couple other instances. Yeah, I think Malik and Rocky was probably the most spicy that it got. Oh my goodness, you're so precious, my girl. Oh, I know she's off camera, but just know that she is here and she's perfect. Laser says to Vashana, really now? Downloads game immediately. I mean, I highly recommend it. It's an excellent game. You scroll through your phone while you rummage through Inaya's fridge. She keeps it surprisingly well stocked, with a wide variety of ingredients. You can probably throw something nice together for breakfast once she wakes up. You read Arihi's indignant text first, but he's too well-adjusted, as he would say, to actually get mad at you. Looks like you just need to bite the bullet and see what Nor wants. Need to know your plans, Ari Aid. Call me. Left a message at your house. Are you really going to be this petty? What could you possibly have going on that you don't have the time to answer the phone when I call? You are her ex. Like, my dude. If this is about Ali, you really need to grow up. Several hours later, as if she forgot that she was supposed to be mad at you, she sent a video of the boys. Our doves. Oh my goodness. Precious. They are precious babies. The boys wanted you to know about this show we were watching. You should check it out. You'll probably learn something. Fuck. Shit. This cannot be happening right now. Holy shit. Okay. Let's turn this into a positive thing. The possibilities of this text. The implications of this text. You could rub this in Nor's face, tell her you don't need to watch Inaya's show because you can go over to Inaya's apartment and be on the show with her. That's right, the two of you have fallen madly in love with each other and you're going to be together until the sun explodes. You wish you could see Nor's face the exact moment she reads the text you're definitely about to send about having found your soulmate, your better half, right under her nose. The devastation would make her age 50 years on the spot. Shit. I need to get out of here. Your palms are slick with anxious sweat. Fuck. What do I do? You do what you always do when you're on the verge of an emotional crisis. Ariki picks up on the second ring. Hello, you do realize it's 5 in the morning, right, Emhari? Ariki, I need you right now. Are you finally going to stop calling me your emotional support transmask? I'm being serious here. I am too. Just listen, okay? So you know how I went home with this girl last night, right? Yes, I am aware that you abandoned me at the bar. Continue. Well, everything was, fine. But then I checked my messages, and I guess the universe hates me because it turns out that this girl has a show on Instagram that Nor loves to watch with the boys. I see. Why is this important? It's important because I need you to tell me if I should, use this somehow? Definitely don't do that, Emhari. I think maybe it would, make things more interesting. Arihi lets out one of the deepest, most troubled sighs you've ever heard him produce. I really should be charging you for this, Come on, what's your take on this? This, actually, is the deepest, most troubled sigh you've ever heard him produce. I mean, my professional take is that you're projecting the idealized version of your relationship with Nor onto Inaya. My take as your friend is that, frankly, you're absolutely batshit. Part of you knew he was going to say that. Shit, you're right. I'm always right. Do you need anything else? I need to go puke until I die. Ha! There's a reason alcohol is haram, my dear. I'm going to kill you with a rock. I love you too, Arihi. Fuck off. I love Arihi. He hangs up after he says that, but you can hear an edge of laughter in his voice. Ah, good old Arihi. He really is right. As much as you want to launch headfirst into wifing Inaya all the way up, you shouldn't. Oh, shit. You run a hand through your hair and head back to Inaya's bedroom so she at least doesn't wake up to your total absence. Attaboy. Hey. Ugh. She's so cute. This sucks. Don't irk at me. You okay? Existentially, you are absolutely not okay. I'm really sorry, but I have to leave. Hey, hold on, let me... You don't need to get up. Don't worry about it. You smile at her. You really, really don't want to be doing this. You look tired. Seems like someone wore you out. Someone, huh? You give her hand a little squeeze. Here. She's holding out her hand, and it takes you a minute to realize she's asking you to hand her your phone. I'll give you my number. You did not account for the fact that she would probably want to see you again. Cool. I'll talk to you later. Narrator, he absolutely did not talk to her later. For the next week, you stare at the empty text conversation between you and Inaya. What can you even say to her? Sorry, I want to keep seeing you, but if I do, I'm going to use our relationship as a way to make my ex-wife feel bad about herself? Yeah, that'll go over well. As each day passes, you get increasingly anxious about reaching out to Inaya. I can't fucking do this. Gideon, what are you doing, baby girl? What are you doing? So you don't. You go on about your day. Work, errands, changing your oil, swinging by your reheats for dinner. It's like nothing happened at all. On Friday night, right when you're deciding on which mystery novel to reread before bed, you get a text. Is it fucked up that part of you wants it to be Inaya? A little bit. In any case, it isn't. Hey! Okay, so this is Mariella. Okay. 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 I'm trying to remember now what Emhari said about her before. I feel like it was pretty intense. Mario is laying low in New York City for a weekend. Wanna dance? Attached is a close-up picture of her chest nearly bursting out of her tight red shirt. You don't even have to think about it. I'll pick you up in 20 minutes. Less than an hour later, you're back at the bar, catching up with one of the most intense women you've ever met. You would not fucking believe this child. I told him, please do not call me until your bail is posted, because if you don't have a number, you're both of our times. Mia says, ah! And then the child goes on and wastes his one phone call, which isn't even a right, by the way. It's a nice thing they do for him since his father was a frequent flyer. He wastes the phone call he should have used to talk to our lawyers, who aren't cheap, by the way, on calling me. What can I do besides calling the lawyers myself? You're half listening to her complaining about her grown son. Speaking of, how are your boys? You're so lucky that they're good-natured. Unlike mine. That's what happens when they grow up, really. What a shame. Between Keaton's irresponsibility and Amelia's temper, well, let's just say they take after their fathers more than they take after me. Obviously, I've never met anyone as sweet as you, Mariella. She playfully swats at your shoulder. You're sweet, but wrong. I still regret not leaving my boy at a fire station the moment he spilled lipstick in my white Galantino bag. Wasn't that last week? She laughs, and you start to laugh with her until you see a familiar flash of curly brown hair out of the corner of your eye. Of course, this is happening to you right now, and you're with Mariella, of all people. Anyone who has eyes can see the sexual attraction between you two. You can't hide this kind of lust. Inaya is going to take one look at you two and know instantly you're going home with Mariella tonight and will fuck her until her husband's latest warrant gets dismissed. She's standing at the bar alone, just like she was last week. It occurs to you that you're in pretty much the same spot you were when you first saw her. Your palms itch. You don't want to look over at her, You don't want to look over to her at first, but you also don't want to pretend that she doesn't exist, either. Shit, she saw you looking at her. You need to act natural. So you smile and wave. Totally natural. Inaya! Hey, how's it going? Oh, who's this one? Oh boy. Hey, Emhari. Pretty good. How about you? Good. This is my friend. You introduce her to Mariella, but you feel empty doing it. The three of you engage in small talk, but it's mostly just Mariella talking about her new heels she busted out just for tonight. Eventually, though, she excuses herself to go to the bathroom, leaving you alone with Inaya. So, hey, you never texted me. Oh, shit. Yeah. Were you waiting on me? Yes, she was. That is an insane thing to ask. Why would you ask that? Obviously she was, or she wouldn't have brought it up. I mean, yeah, that's why I gave you my number. Right, you feel like a massive piece of shit. You were the biggest cunt on the face of the earth. It's you. The reward is getting killed instantly with a brick. Sorry about that. I should have mentioned that I'm not looking for anything long-term currently. I'm getting out of something really serious and I'm not trying to rush things. Oh. Did I do something wrong? I mean, what? No. It's me, not you. I know that's a cliche of a poor excuse, but I know I'm not hot, or whatever. You don't know why, but you really don't have the emotional bandwidth to handle this tactfully. Why would I have sex with you if I didn't think you were hot? You aren't everyone's type, so what? That doesn't mean I can't be into you. Okay. Maybe that wasn't the nicest thing to say, but it is true. Wow, that doesn't really make me feel any better. Well, if you were trying to make her feel better, that would certainly be an excellent critique. I don't understand what you want me to say to you. Okay, fine. You don't like me. That's okay. I didn't say that. I like you fine. What? At this point, there's no looking back. No sugarcoating. You're the biggest bitch in Jercy City. You just don't really seem like you like yourself. I need to be careful about the energy I'm letting into my life long term. Sorry. Now that you've removed your initial spark of attraction, you see Inaya without rose-colored glasses. You didn't have to read her for filth, though. Boshana says, "It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me." Thanks. Thanks for telling me. God, I'm so... Please, don't be embarrassed, Inaya. I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm just succeeding at it spectacularly. I have issues too, okay? Like, a lot of fucked up, insane bullshit that, frankly, you wouldn't want to deal with. You didn't have to read yourself for filth either. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry to be weird, I've had kind of a wacky month. You can't help but laugh. She thinks she's the weird one here. I get it. Me too. Only technically now. Hazer says, I had that typed out, you beat me. Oh, God. Okay. We will call that a night. Which is good, because I'm starting to lose my voice. Alright. Oh, and the next date is going to be with Isabelle. Nice. Love her. Alright. So, thank you for hanging out, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Those kids, Emhari's kids are fucking adorable. Oh my god, I was not prepared for that. And I should have been, because Malik's kids were really cute. But Malik was not a great dad. And Emhari's a really good mama. Oh my god. So yeah, this was fun. Biggs is great. I vote, queer platonic bros for life. Sounds good. Good to see Ariki again. Really good to see Emhari's perspective on the date with Inaya, because, last week, I guess, or week before last, we had Inaya's side of it, and, it really is eye-opening to see, like, what Emhari was thinking, and it's not just, like, it was a one-night stand and I just decided to ignore you after that and be a dick on purpose. Is like, oh god, I actually really like you, but I'm worried that I'm a terrible person and I'm going to misuse this, so therefore I am going to ghost you. Probably would have been good if he'd explained that, but, whatever. So yeah, tomorrow at 6:30, Velmax and I are going to do indie game speed dating. We had to reschedule it from the weekend, but fortunately we didn't have anything planned for tomorrow. So Thursday night at 6:30, we're going to play a bunch of indie games and dress up fancy, and it'll be fun. And then next Wednesday at hopefully 3 again, I will continue Emhari's storyline in ValiDate, and yeah, we'll see some more Isabelle. Hopefully we'll see some more of the kids because they're adorable. It'll be good times. So thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for your patience as I dealt with rambunctious kittens. Voshana's birthday? Oh my goodness, which is your birthday? Well, that's exciting anyway, that we'll stream on her birthday. Happy pre-birthday. Oh. Very sweet. Well, at any rate, happy pre-birthday, Voshana. And, sounds like my kid to actually wish you happy birthday on your birthday. Tomorrow. Oh, sweet. Perfect. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you then, and if not, you'll be doing something nice with Mia, celebrating your birthday. All right. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, and I will see you again soon. Bye.